from time to time, from time to time, people ask me, what's this Dads in Recovery? Why are you doing this? What's it all about? And so I want to quickly share the plan and and how this happened. First of all, I think that it's important for you to know that I have three kids. I have three kids, and they're adults, and uh, and I think that I have all that you could imagine in the relationship with my three adult kids. They call me and we have a relationship and we chat. I think it was this morning my son called me who lives in Asia and we talked for an hour just about stuff. You know, it's never I don't get calls that are drama based. They're just we have a relationship and it's great and it's honest. It's open. They know me pretty well. Now it wasn't always that way. I remember when it really dawned on me that I was way over my head. And I think I talk, and this is part of why I'm doing this, is because men, this happens. We're like, holy shit. And my kids were teenagers and getting into drugs and alcohol. And that's up until then, I thought, well, I'm doing okay, but when at that point, it was like, damn, I'm in trouble here. And I just got out of my second marriage. And so safe to say that I'm not an expert in that, and two wonderful ladies who I love and they're still in my life and your grandparents and anyway that's going okay, but back in the day I was terrified. I was like, holy shit, my kids are getting into drugs and alcohol and they're teenagers and I didn't know what was going to go on after, what was happening. And now I wonder, it seems like my feed has stopped. Is that the case? No, there we are. A little glitch for sure. So I started to search out for men who were dads. Now they weren't necessarily in recovery, but I found a group, a men's group, and it's been that was back in '99, and it's been a big part of helping me to be the dad that I wanted to be, and so that's my mission now as a man, to help other men to look at their lives, which I've had to do with my men and also in my steps in recovery, but it wasn't focused on parenting really, and I didn't know the right questions, let alone the friggin' answers. So, but with these men that I spent years with now, and I still spend time with, and still am part of that men's group after all these years, you know, I got to watch them and their relationship with their kids, and we used to do campouts with men and their sons and daughters and that kind of stuff. So that's what I see, is that there's tons of men, yes, in certainly in trauma, in really tough situations where they're just marriages are just broken up recently and they're new in recovery. But there's also a lot of men that when their kids get to be, in their teenage years, and things are there's just going along okay, but the teenage years they start to act out like they do, and we get full of fear in our teaching in recovery. Bill says that fear set in motion trains of circumstances. Like we fucking create stuff with our fear, so we can't be living in fear, you know. But without having men to talk to and to be in relationship with, who are dads in recovery, who have the experience, where do we go to get this information? We're flying by the seat of our pants. And yes, maybe, we're living in the moment and we're in conscious contact with our creator in each and every moment. That's not likely true. That's not likely true. I've seen that and I've experienced that in my life. But after years and years of being a seeker, that I finally, have that experience, and do I have that experience now as a result of years of that? So most of the time in my recovery, I've been living at some level of me running the show. And I didn't have any skills really as a dad. So that's the deal. My deal is to help men to become great dads and be present with their kids, and to look at their lives and see how they're influenced by their old beliefs and by their relationship with their own father, and by their fears and by their guilt and by their delusion, because we're often self-deluded. It says we're driven by 100 forms of fear: self-delusion, self-seeking, self-pity, you know. And so we look at that stuff. So this is not easy work, but it's worth it, because we're building the next generation, and they're our kids. We want to help them to give them the leg up that they need. And I'm so grateful. I mean, my three of my kids, two of them are sober and in recovery. So that was a bit of hell that we had to go through together. And I went down on, yes, and looked at how to live in that, and thank God that I had men in my life. So we're one of the things that we're doing is a Tuesday night call, and we want you to come to that. The Tuesday night call at 6:30 Mountain Time on Zoom. Get in touch with me. I'll give you the link and begin the process. This thing takes years of examining and exposing, and looking at ourselves in relationship with our kids. So I don't think you should come and see me just when things are gone to shit. Let's get to work on it. If you've got kids, doesn't matter how old they are, if you'd like that relationship to improve, or you like yourself to be ready to deal with things that may be coming up in the future, let's build a relationship between you and I. And the Tuesday call, there's no charge for the Tuesday call. Just come and hang with us. Yeah. So if you got this far in the video, remember to make a comment, say something. Jesus. Or like the video, whether it's on Facebook or whether it's on YouTube, and subscribe or follow if it's on Facebook. And yeah, that's it. Love you guys. I'm in. This is my mission. I'm looking at this. It's what an honor for me as an elder. Because I guess I am now, to be able to be there for younger men that are going through this, and to be there for their families. I love their kids. I love them, and I want them to, if possible, have, all the advantages they can have, and often, they don't have, their own dads don't have that information. So that's it. Love you. See you on Tuesday night. I'll put a link on this somewhere too for the Zoom call. Cheers.